Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to cover how to create custom search screens using AgilePoint NX Form as a Service module. Search screens are an integral part of overall end-to-end solution for any application created, and you would hardly find any application which will not require a search screen to have a quick reporting on already existing data. Though it was possible to create search screens in past in process-based apps as well, with the introduction of Form as a Service, it has got a lot more easier due to the list view control. Moreover, with the portal builder component, you would be able to create custom menu which can be used to expose these search links directly to target audience without having to go through my apps. So let's see how it works. I'm going to use one of my existing apps which I used in the previous demo for Form as a Service introduction, where customer and order data are stored in Salesforce and managed using AgilePoint Form as a Service app. I'm going to add an additional search screen to the existing app where I can search customer by email. Though I am using an application which is using Salesforce as a data source, same steps are applicable for other data sources supported by Form as a Service. So let's see. Here is my existing app. Now I could select it and click and add and view right from here itself, but just so that you can see what existed already, I'm going to expand it. Go to view forms. So if you remember, there are three views which are generated out of the box in any Form as a Service application. I'm going to say add a new view. I'm going to give it a name. Let me copy this. Select the data source. So what it does is it creates a blank view for me. I'm going to go with the defaults. I'm going to drag and drop an email control over here. Call it email. Going to put a button. Going to call it search. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to give it some color. I'm going to add a list view control. Now remember, list view control is only available in a Form as a Service application where the form type is view. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to actually remove this label. And in the configuration, I'm going to say, because it is a search screen, I don't want to allow add. It's up to you though. Now, the thing which I'm going to do different is, in past demos, you saw me selecting a lookup source right over here. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to expand it to 3 columns. Adjust the width. Now I'm going to add in auto lookup, because I want to dynamically feed in the data to the grid based on my search criteria. I'm going to just leave the default name for now. I'm going to create a new auto lookup of type Salesforce, Salesforce lookup. I'm going to select my access token for Salesforce. It will be of type multi-column, and I'll just give it a unique name. And my data source is a custom entity in Salesforce called customers. I'm going to select all the columns, bring back all the columns. And I'm going to actually add a filter condition where email in Salesforce record equal to email I enter on the form. And I want to do an order by as well. I'll say order all the retrieve records by last modified date in a descending order. Now you could write custom queries as well, of course. I'm going to go ahead and click finish. Next, I'm going to, in the bind lookup values too, I'm going to select my list view control. Now I could do what you have been doing in the auto lookups all this while, which is auto generate lookup columns, and it would dynamically would have fed in all the columns retrieved by my lookup into the list view. And I'm going to say I want specific columns only. Though the lookup is bringing back more columns, I want specific columns only. Now what you saw over here is by default it added the primary key column, and I cannot delete it. It's rendered as a hidden column by default. You can mark it visible if you want it, which I don't want to. So I'm going to say I just want to add a column called name, email, city, state, and phone number. And of course, you can say that which ones of these are visible in mobile as well. So I could do this. Now in mobile devices, I can select only up to 4. In mobile views, I can select only up to 4 columns. If I try to do a 5th one, it will tell me that you can only select up to 4, which is a concept which I covered in the previous video on mobile list view control. Okay, and I'm going to say that don't trigger this auto lookup when the field value changes. I'm going to trigger it when I click the button. So I'm going to select this new option which is added over here called none. You're going to select this option only if you're going to trigger auto lookup based on a button click or maybe through JavaScripts. Now I'm going to go back to my button and say when this button is clicked, trigger an auto lookup, and select my auto lookup name. I can quickly preview it. And there it is. So it brought down the record where the email ID matched, right? So it looks like it is working. I'm going to go ahead and say save and check in. Select the application and hit publish. I'll check in all the files. At this point of time, you can see I can set the default view, and one of the views is now my custom view as well. So I could say, make this my default view. Now, typically you would still keep probably all customers as the default view, but just so that I can show it in the demo, I changed it. I'll go to my apps. Now remember, these views have direct links as well, and I could put direct link to these search screens as well. So you see now it became my default view. I have it in the view switcher. Let's go ahead and type an email. And click search, and there it is. The record came up. I now have an option of bringing up a read-only record, read-only view of that record. So I can click on this. So you see everything is read-only. Now from this screen, I could either decide to go into edit mode or back. And similarly, there are other options. I can go into edit mode. From here directly, I can delete the record and so on. Now, getting back to my build apps. If I go into my folder, forms, view forms. So I have this get customer by email. As I said, I can copy the link from here and put it anywhere in my custom portal or a page created by Portal Builder. I can put a direct link to this page. Thanks a lot for your time.